Welcome to this week's episode of See You Next Tuesday. We thought we'd do a little bit of a catch up through self care.
Self-care, yeah. And just a quick thank you. I don't know if you can see our
It's,
beautiful mugs. Personalised by Personally Yours. There's a lovely lady called Jay who's got her own business, and I will tag her website in the captions. That's the word I was looking for.
I love them.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you very
They are
much.
featured, and we've got one for a guest.
Oh, we've got one for a guest as well. Love
Okay.
that.
They can all see you next Tuesdays.
Love that. for all our fellow See You Next Tuesdays.
There's a few of you out there.
Yeah, so Luce, honestly, I just wanted to touch on the subject of self-care, well-being, like what you do to look after you, because I've got to tell you, I've had a morning and I definitely actively sort out certain things that I know are like fail-proof for me to get me going when I'm having a bit of a morning where not only am I stuck, it was very emotionally charged with a teenager. Guessing most people know what that feels like. And I just felt like it wasn't going to happen organically. I was going to have to biohack the hell out of it. So I just wondered, I'm just curious what you do.
Before I say what I do, can you explain what biohack means?
So biohacking is something I am huge on. So biohacking is where you have a set of tools, a lot mainly naturally. Some can be, like or supplementations or forms of other things that naturally tap into your biology of the body, mind, emotion, like actual physical. And they generally bring out what's the word I'm looking for? They're just a support. There's something you can take, something you can do to naturally support your mental and emotional well-being into having a better time.
Okay.
Things.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. For me, self-care has been depleted really for probably, I think I've only really just learned self-care in the last 5 years. Counselling was my self-care actually before that. I journal a lot. I go to natural therapy. So in Westmoreland, I go to the therapy tree to help me with bits and pieces that go on in my body. Kinesiology, which I've loved and learning. So that's going to be incorporated into what's going to be a new business, actually. I'm going to sort of reinvent myself because stuff just wasn't aligning for me there. Walking, netball is one of my big ones. I do netball 3 times a week. I think asking for help is still my hardest thing to do, but something that I feel is really good for my self-care is actually I can't do everything and not striving for perfection, just go, right, okay, this is what it is. So I think that's part of my self-care. What about you?
I think mine's even more stripped back than that, to be honest with you. So I definitely am somebody that I enjoy getting out in sunlight.
Yeah.
So again, the biohacking. I like hacking my hormones, getting that little bit of sunlight, getting on my skin, feeling better. I definitely look after my sleep. I'm not very good at sleeping. I have to really teach myself about sleeping and getting good sleep hygiene and actually getting the hours in. Mine, I'm definitely set my day off with gratitude. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
I do an awful lot of gratitude journaling, and even if I'm not sitting down, like even applying myself to like writing, I actually will walk, say it out loud, decide why I'm grateful, what I'm grateful for, and actually what that generates, having that in my life at that moment in time, because it changes on the daily, sometimes even half daily. Sometimes I'll even have to sit myself down in an afternoon to get the rest of the day going and think, right, this may look like a shitstorm. It's not a shitstorm. It's just your thoughts on the shitstorm.
Yeah.
Let's stop, let's figure it out, let's start again.
Yeah.
I have to do that quite a lot, especially with like when I've got a lot on my plate.
I use gratitude when I feel stress or anxiety.
Right.
Because if you try saying 3 things you're grateful without smiling, even to yourself.
Well, they say that, don't they? You can't be depressed and grateful at the same time.
Yeah.
It's impossible. You can't truly be grateful for something and then be fed up. The two don't, they don't live side by side. They don't marry up, do they?
100%. My 10-year-old, 11 actually now, we do rock, paper, scissors every morning to see who does their gratitude fast. So on the way to dinner, I was like, right. So, I said, right, try and do it then without smiling. Couldn't. It just changes his whole persona. He's like happy and go lucky, just 3 things of gratitude. So it happens.
Trouble is, to feel grateful, you have to tap into emotion, which people aren't really good at.
Yeah.
And the difference is with children, they don't challenge that. They don't put the blocks in the way.
Yeah.
And also, I think even as if you're truly grateful for something, or something has truly made you appreciate them or that, or some ways made you feel, then it's impossible to be fair about that, and it's possible not to smile.
Yeah.
To not have that follow through of that kind of like the emotion behind that kind of picks you up, like the little endorphin sort of dopamine hit that you get from that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you touched on exercise. Exercise is a massive one for me. I've actually struggled the last year because I've been doing a lot of supporting in my family situation. I've struggled to get the exercise in, and I found that fundamentally life changing. And I know that sounds a bit dramatic, but a lot of how I kind of generate sort of navigating life is because I like to do sports that really challenge me, properly challenge me. And when you can do hard things, you can generally just do hard things. It makes you easier to navigate, be a bit more solution based, and weather the shit storms without feeling flatlined.
Yeah.
So I like challenging sports, and I've not had that a lot during this last year, and I felt that, and I've just taken a huge stride in actually getting in touch with somebody to help support me get back to, not to get back to where I was, to help me navigate where I'm at and accept where I'm at. And where I'm at almost feels like right back at the beginning of my fitness journey, even though I put shit ton of work into it. That it is what it is.
Yeah.
And to accept that meant that I had to face like a decision. Do I regret things that I have done that have led me to this moment of being in this state of fitness? No, I do not. When you own the decision, when you realise that's your choice and that you wouldn't change that choice, then you can take accountability for that and think it makes it a lot easier to accept where you are.
Yeah.
Do I regret any of it? No. Could I have probably done a bit better? Hell yeah. But at the time, I've got to be out there and say, emotionally and mentally, I didn't feel that I could, which directly impacted my wanting to do so. My wanting, don't really want to.
Yeah.
It really, really, really impacted that. Why? Why am I gonna? Why do I want to? My reason why? And it's took me ages to get that back. So I've just taken massive strides into enlisting someone to help me kind of get back there. And I think that will catapult me massively back to to get back on that journey, And again, like my run club, obviously, Emma and my run team, there, shout out to Train on the Hill. But there's I love my people the same as you do your netball.
Yeah, and I think my consistency is pretty crap when it comes to exercise. I know it's important. I'm great at walking, but anything other than that, I'll do like 4 or 5 weeks. I'll be amazing, and then I'll be like, where's the chocolate? Where's the tea? And that's why netball really works for me, because I'm part of a team, 2 of which I now manage. I mean, they must be wrong because I'm the most unorganised person ever.
Love that.
But I won't let them down, because I know if I've got to go out of this house at 8:45 in the freezing cold, my teammate's going to be there. So that is that's why netball really works for me. I'm not a runner. I find it hard. I don't mind doing things on my own, but I will let myself down. I will just go, oh no, I don't really fancy
So
it.
they hold you accountable.
And but girls will do the same thing to me. I hold myself accountable because they're my team, my tribe. Yeah, they really matter to me.
Yeah.
So, and maybe that's where a running club would be really good for me, because actually I've got to go and see people. Whereas if I'm just motivating myself, I'd rather go and write a page in my journal, or I'd distract myself with doing a clip for See You Next Tuesday, or do you know what I mean? I don't really love it. And whereas netball I love. And it's taken me a while to find out. I've joined multiple gyms. I've had personal training. I've done couch to 5K. I've done all of those things, but took me a while to find where I really fit. And I didn't think it would be netball. Couch to call. I turned out thinking, oh my God, I haven't played since I was at school. Yeah. And now I'm in love and I'm hooked. But I think that's sort of a message that I'd like to say, like, just because it doesn't work for you, that thing, keep going, find out what does, because there will be something, and we're not all alike. Like,
no, find your thing.
Find what works for you. If you want to go on a 10K walk, or you want to just walk around the block, that's okay. Just find what works for you, because it can be quite disheartening, because I think, oh yeah, I'll do another time. Oh yeah, I'll do another bit of exercise. And then I think, oh fucking hell, nothing's really changed. It's about 2 pounds. I don't feel any better with myself. But now I'm concentrating on what feels good rather than what I should look like. It's changed.
Do you know what's really funny for me? Like when I do exercise, like when you said at the gym, I like weights, I like high rocks training, I like the CrossFit type thing. I like to go hard, and I like to literally fight myself. Fight myself for myself. I don't even like to do it underneath. Like I do it over online guidance rather than in-person guidance, but because it teaches me to cheer for me.
Yeah.
Like I am really crap at cheering for me. Really crap at cheering for me. When I have to go up against myself in that moment, like I have to find that version of myself that's like, come on, Wendie, this is who you are. Get off don't give in, keep going. Like, I have to find that version of myself that literally knows she can do it, and that is there's only you in that moment, and there's only you gonna get up and do you, and I find it makes so much more of life easier to navigate, to flow.
Yeah, and I like that, cheering for yourself. That really resonates with me, because I think this is the first time that I've felt really like I have cheered for myself this year. I love our podcast. I've got out a journal. I have had 2 redundancies this year, and I just found myself cheering myself on. And to be honest, I feel it all started here. To have this safe space, to have the people that have come forward and supported, the disclosures that people have felt safe enough to trust me with, has just made me go, right, Luce, this is for you. Yeah. This is your right path. You're doing fucking well. Let's go. And I think that's appreciate you and you.
Yeah.
That's really really cheered me on.
Yeah, massively. And I think the thing is, I think that's massively important in the fact that, like, I don't know, like, for me, I hope that by owning that and by people seeing that they understand that that's normal. Because I think there's a lot of people struggle to cheer themselves on. Yeah. A lot of people, if I strip back and explain to you how not cheering for me goes, I think people would be horrified at that story. Not just that, just the fact that, like, I think I'm just trying to, for well-being purposes, for like boost, for uplifting, and for like, talking about well-being and sort of self-care. It's when you commit to something for you, just for you, and you block out the noise, you block out the opinions, you block out everything else around you, and you just feel in your bones that it's for you, grab it with both hands and go with it.
Yeah, and I think that, and just coming back to this and our relationship in this room and who we've met, I mean, we haven't even known 4 months yet, right?
Yeah, I didn't scratch the surface.
No, But also the energy that you surround yourself. I've always been aware of people's energy I don't particularly like, the people that I would really avoid. And it's not that I've cut people off so much, but I've just started going, actually, I've got the choice. I've got two choices. I could spend an hour having a coffee with someone that's just going to bring me down, and I'm not saying my friends don't talk about problems, because all of my friends have loads of problems, as do I. But there's a difference between being a problem and having a problem. And it's like, I've had some major shifts this year about, actually, that's not good for me. And identifying, yes, I've always been able to identify the energy, but actually saying, actually, that's not good for me.
Actually
I'm
saying
going to
no.
do that to me.
Actually saying no for you. Yeah, what's
It's
best for
seeing
you.
what that importance, how important I am, and also,
did you feel important before that?
I think I felt, no, probably not. I think I was just trying to dress that out then. I think there was times I felt.
Did you see that rebound? She caught herself that fast. I love that. All those to be seen. I love that.
There were times that
not gonna lie, no.
There were times I really felt important. I felt that I had a real gift. I knew that my story was going to become my superpower. I 100% had that. But they were, I guess, I was like this, in and out, and in and out. And now I'm very much like this. I still have those, and I still have these, but I'm much more like this.
Yeah.
And I think when you can get to the place where you're not like, I mean, I've spoken about it millions of times. I was just living in firefly, and lots of things have happened. But actually, I think sharing the most vulnerable, scariest thing I have had to do is probably the most empowering.
Yeah.
And the next chapter and the next thing is bringing out actually the story, which I'm absolutely petrified about. But I know that that's going to be my next empowering thing. And I've decided, randomly my mum sent me a video off TikTok of a really brave lady in America who's named her abuser publicly, and I will be doing the same. I'll be doing the same.
Yeah, we've had conversations.
When I am ready. And I don't even know really where I'm coming from this, and I'm going in a completely different direction. But also the ability to cheer for others. When you see someone doing well and cheer them on and embrace and all the lovely things that they're achieving, there's something in that makes me feel really good as well. And I just feel like we need a little bit more cheering for each other.
Yeah.
As a human race.
Not
women, not men, not
this.
however you want to be. The lack of cheer is quite astounding. When I think that everyone was standing there with pots and pans during the NHS through lockdown, well, why can't we cheer for each other? Because actually, if you look around you, there is a lot of good news out there, but we're not cheering about it. So it's not anything. We are so busy focusing on, oh, she did this and she's not that, and then like, fuck this.
Don't you find when you choose you, though, you don't even know about anything else that's going on around you? Have you not noticed how all of a sudden it's like nothing else is? I think when you choose you, and you choose what's right for you, and you stay focused and dial that in, and you think about what's best for you, i.e. my morning this morning, as we've just unpacked a minute ago, I think when you dial it in and you do choose you, the rest of it falls into significance, because you don't really take any notice about what's going on around you that's negative. You're too focused on where you're going and what's next for you. Now, Lucy, you just said, I've got a bit off subject, but you haven't. You were talking about choosing you.
Yeah.
And out of choosing you, out of choosing to own your story, out of choosing to get ready with me and do this podcast, out of choosing different paths that you've put your feelers out to, you've learned what's for you, what's not for you. Out of that, you thought, do you know what? I've done this journal will help everybody. This amazing journal will actually help others and motivate others and support others. that was definitely for you. You talk about your netball team, you talk about your kinesiology, which you're bringing out, and how much you've studied that, and how, like, literally you can't talk about it without, like, like you can see it's your thing. It just oozes out of you.
Yeah.
They're all things you've chosen for you, though.
Yeah.
But they're all one thing that's led to another because you stood up and chose you for the first time, probably.
Yeah. I think there is definitely, I've chosen myself at tiny little bits, but it's like consistence choose you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
knowing that when you deviate from that, like you just did, you bring yourself straight back in. There's no going off. You were like,
No.
you know, and it's the same. And it's like this morning, I wasn't feeling right. I had a major upset, an explosive argument with one of mine indoors. Something come out of it that made me realise that, oh, not that again. You think you go through the layers of life. You think you put things to bed and you face things and you know, you deal with those versions of yourself. But no, I popped that one this morning and I was back to being flatlined and angry and upset. I had a good cry, actually in temper. And then I thought, actually, Wendy, this won't do. This will not do. Go and get a little bit of what feeds your brain. Get your brain kick started. Go and have a walk, take a breath. Go and make sure that you've got your meals in place. Something as silly as even feeding yourself properly for the rest of the day. So you can actually show up the way that you need to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd slept well. It hadn't started that way this morning. It ended up that way this morning. And it needed to be pulled back into alignment.
Yeah.
So straight away, no bullshit. Like, yes, you've learned that lesson yet again for the 5,000th time this year, Wendy. Have a good cry about it because you're angry that you fucking made that same mistake again.
Yeah.
Get over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There is shit to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Go and get, like, again, I'll talk about biohacking. Chuck your MCT oil in your coffee. Get your bulletproof coffee. Get your healthy fats. Get your healthy fibre that feeds your gut because the brain-gut axis is very directly linked.
Yeah.
Go feel better. Come and do your podcast. Go and pick up your grandkids. Go and do the things that ignite your fires for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? It's a moment.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Yeah.
Not as in get over it, but like, it's not that bad.
I have not stopped saying, does anyone design though? From what you remember that podcast we did?
Oh yeah.
He went mental the other day because there's too many coats stored in the bandstand. And I was like, fuck off. Like, is anyone actually going to die? Well, I know that sounds really harsh, but, you know, that's how I speak sometimes. I'm not always a lady. But it was like, why is it impact? And the questions I asked, is it impacting your life? Is it going to harm you? Is it going to harm anyone else? Is anyone else going to die?
Have you moved the coats?
No.
No, but that's what. But has he moved the coat? Have you moved the coats? Have you done anything about it?
Exactly that. But I think it's about grounding yourself, isn't it? And going, right, this is me back. Right, no, actually, I'm not going to solve a problem. And I am a problem solver. And I am a rescuer. You're in trouble, I'll help you. Don't worry
Let
about
me fix it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, let me abandon myself and truly do all the work for you. And you won't thank me for it and probably shit all over me. But you know what? I'll take that. I'll take that one for the team.
And that's one thing I've learned this year is that it's not my job to fix. My job is to be supportive.
That's huge.
Listen. I love being supportive. But I don't
It's
need to
not
fix.
my job
Help.
to fix. Personally yours, we need that t-shirt. Let me tell you, it's not my job to fix. How massive's that?
Yeah.
That's huge in self-care.
Yeah.
Huge in self-care and choosing you.
And I think, like, learning more how I've written about my story, my job, my role, even as a child, was a protector. Why did I tell what happened? Protector. Yeah. Why did I keep a secret? Protection. Why did I do this? Always protecting, fixing. I then went to work in a children's home. Help, protect, fix. And now I've just gone, it's not actually my role. Actually, this is, I can help, I can facilitate, I can support, I can listen, but I can't fix.
I'm going to change my thing from fuck off to fix off. Fix off. Fix off. Yeah, no, I'm the queen of it.
Yeah. So I think that's a big thing. There's something really I wanted to talk about, but it's absolutely gone from my brain. No, it's gone. But yeah, definitely fixing, not having to fix everyone, and not solving everyone else's problems.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one New Year, well, one of my mate Jamie's New Year's resolution was we're going to be solution focused this year. That was it. And that was such a good resolution. And I think with Christmas, New Year coming up, everyone's like, oh, new me, new start. And I don't take away from people but I've started a new tradition a couple of years ago that I'll share because it might be good for anyone else. And it's on New Year's Eve, I'll write a list of everything I'd like to achieve that year. And I just put it in a box with a crystal and put it on top of my wardrobe and then don't look at it. And then the next year, I do the exact same, read it, think, oh yeah, I did that. Actually, why did I want to do that at that time? And I'll sort of look at that. And why didn't I achieve that? Was that I didn't want to? What was that about? Is it something I still want to achieve? And then that's it, done.
I do that on the monthly.
Do you?
I do it on the monthly.
Oh, I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, I do it on the monthly. And it's really strange because what it flagged up really quickly for me and what it solved really quickly for me was when I wasn't getting done what I wanted to get done and why. And what was my block? Where was my focus? Where did I channel most of my effort and my energy? And how, I know my best there, sorry. And how did that best serve me? Yeah. That's because I'm getting angry at myself. Because obviously my recent one was crap, just so you know. And I am the queen of giving her power away, the queen of giving her can't do away, the absolute queen of like, let me help you. Like, oh, don't worry, I can do that on top of my 900 other things I've got to do.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? And it's not things I want to do. And do you know what? The reason I do my monthly is because I deviate. Especially if I love you. Oh my God, if I love you, you're definitely killing me. There's like, do you know what I mean? I will definitely collapse for that. And I'm aware of that trait in me. You know, I'm aware of that trait. And it just brings it to the forefront. So it gets, instead of running away with like a scope of time that I can't reel back in, it makes me get back on track really quickly. So I do it weekly for the things that are non-negotiable and monthly for the things that are like, you know, you've got a bit of room to play with. But if I get off track too far, it pulls me straight back in and keeps me accountable to me because I'm not great at being accountable to me. I really want to be, and I really want to have a lot more of my life for me than those that I love. But I'm shit at it. I'm shit at it.
But another thing I haven't actually thought about is that in your fixing stage, where you're trying to fix it, it's so disempowering to them. You disempower them by not letting them self.
And let me tell you, my hugest lesson of all with fixing everything is it's not authentic, people. They don't feel about you how they think they feel about you. They don't know who you are, because who you are is people pleasing. It's not real energy, it's manipulative energy. It's not real love. It's based on what you can do, give, buy, and get. And let me tell you, there is no shitter feeling in the world than realizing that somebody only likes, loves, spends time with you, or even wants to know you based on what you can give, do, provide, support. It's just muggy. It's not real.
It's muggy.
It's not real. It's not real. It's not authentic and disempowering. But also, let me tell you something. It screams lack of self-trust. It's like you don't trust them to love you. You don't trust them to like you. You don't trust that who you are, what you are, is enough for them to just generate their own reactions to you in whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
And I'm the fucking queen of that and all. So like I've done that for long, not anymore, but I did that for a huge part of my life. Learned that lesson the hard way with one of my nearest and dearest, as we all know. So yeah, you know, it's you're right there. You're absolutely bang on the button.
And also, if you and especially I think like teenagers and children, if you don't allow them to solve their own shit, how are they going to be when they're adults? If we're always doing it for them,
they can't adult for shit. This is where we go wrong.
And we do it a lot, and the demand is just horrific.
The entitlement is horrific.
And it's like, and actually, in the whole, we need to go backwards.
But it's not just children.
No,
we do it with partners.
Sorry,
we do it with friends. We do it with people we work with, 100%. People we work for. Mm-hmm. We do it for people that, like, wherever if you are genuinely, fundamentally have that trait about you, you'll do it anywhere you are. And let me tell you, the sooner you get rid of it, the better off you will be.
Yeah.
So it's,
100%. And it's just this whole demand and...
Instant.
Can I have? They've got. And we're so busy with that we've forgotten fundamentals. And I honestly think we're all talking about digital IDs, how the world is changing, how we don't want it. Well, let's step a step backwards. Because actually, backwards, where we had a community, we actually cared about our neighbours. We knew our neighbours' names. We helped them out with a cup of sugar. We didn't spend most of our evenings on our mobile phones. We didn't allow children to spend most of their time on devices. They were out, they were playing, they were looked after by the street. You know, what do they say about it takes a community to build a child? Let's go back there, because that did actually work. And especially if you look at statistics and knife crime, rapes, sexual assaults, actually the old school worked. You're just like staring into myself.
No, I'm not. I'm staring into yourself because I would be very particular about my community.
Oh, 100%. But I think, like, where I live, I'm blessed. And I've got a lovely older couple who live just here, and they can see my house. And they do things that are really... we just had our front garden made look nice, because it looked like a forest. And they were like, I really like what you've done with front garden. And I was watching you. You're really working hard. And although at first I was like, oh, that's a bit dandy. Like they're old, quite old. And now I think, oh, that's lovely, because they don't just notice things like that. They notice I had an incident where a bailiff entered my house when I was asleep in bed. So I woke up to this big 6-foot guy in my home.
Wow.
And it wasn't for me. It was someone who used to live here. But the police were called straight away, because people here do look out. Now, I'm in a privileged position, but I also talk to them. I also communicate. When we moved into this local area around the corner, we went out dressed as Santas, as you can imagine, me and Jamie, and took everyone biscuits and a bottle of wine. Hiya, we are new neighbours. Nice to meet you. These are our names. So built that relationship. I'm not saying everyone in that road was beautiful and lovely, but the majority of people out here are good people.
Yeah, we've got decent neighbours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I must admit, there is something. I mean, I know, like, I find this thing. There's a lot on the children at the moment, but also, like, our children's well-being's not been done the same way, is it? Unfortunately, I mean, I am quite good with, like, certain things, but unfortunately not with you all the time, so you can't govern what they're doing all the time, can you?
No.
So,
which is hard, but I think we could make changes. Definitely. I've looked at my parenting just at the weekend, really. We went to watch football. Silly things like when he sits down, he definitely doesn't sleep as much, because I can tell, because how emotional he is. So it's about that communication, that he does need this much sleep, really, to self-regulate. Food choices. It's about just having those open conversations. It's not about going, you're doing this and you're doing that. Actually, I'm noticing he's really upset.
I'm quite lucky. Mine are quite outdoor kids. They're not stuck to everything screen-wise. I'm quite lucky. They love outdoor sports. They play football at weekends. They horse ride. They're out playing with friends. They like going over the park. You know, they are quite outdoorsy. We do a lot of things outdoors as a family as well. Food-wise, I'm not as on it as I should be lately, just because some days we are really navigating a lot. But majority of the time, I am one of these women that reads all the labels, cooks from scratch, knows all the nasties. I do generally feed their brains, feed their bodies, especially having 2 teenage daughters with hormones. Sleep is a non-negotiable in our house. I'm the world's worst sleeper, but we do like sleeping at some point. Because again, going back to self-care and wellness, and just just in general, for I think that cooking for somebody and providing meals for somebody and shopping and wanting to know what they're eating and what you're giving them is self-care. Is, do you know what I mean? Is
I agree. I think that I didn't know. If I'm honest, it's COVID that's really opened my eyes.
Yeah.
Like, even someone posted the other day about simple hacks you could have in your home to reduce toxins, plastics, etc., etc. And she was like, "Oh, get a wooden chopping board." Well, I've got a plastic one, and I just wouldn't have come to that there. And also, sometimes financially, that's hard.
Yeah.
And not everyone can afford to do certain things. But you can, all I say, because I've got a few women who are very non-tox, very ingredient wise, and I said, and they beat themselves up, because one of my interesting facts is that fat from crisp stays in your body for about 51 days. So if you're eating a pack a week, that's a lot of fat. Anyway, I diverged, but she's like, "Oh, I can't feed my kids that." Well, you could just do better. You don't have to solve everything at once. Like, Vinny loves crisps. I'm not going to say no more crisps. That's it. We're out. We're going to get rid of all this stuff. But what I have done is made sure he has popcorn now.
Yeah.
Instead, and he still has the occasional packet crisp, but he's not having them in his packed lunch every day. And it's about making those small changes at a time. You don't have to.
I'm supporting their detox pathways, because what people need to realise is if you're supporting detox and you're reducing the load, as we're both very in tune with what we put in our kids' bodies and what they're around, what they wear, what they come into contact with. I think sometimes it's just maybe reducing what you can, optimizing what you can, like the detox. So I like mine having warm baths with a bit of, like a bit of salts in it. They like to get the sweat on with exercise. They do drink like lemon water. I do feed them good gut stuff. It's about optimizing what you can, reducing what you can, and generally just having an awareness and doing the best you can do. And most things that benefit detoxification and optimize well-being are free anyway.
Yeah.
Getting outside in nature, walking, walking out in nature, like getting the sunlight in you, making sure that, like you say, the microplastics is a thing. I get that, but generally just do what you can do.
Yeah, but I think
sneaky nutrition.
But I do think there's a lot of pressure around that too, and it's about going, right, look, the more people become aware of what's going on, what's opening their eyes to that everything might not be as it seems, and safe and healthy and well, like from the additives of food to the things we cook with to medication. There's a lot of people becoming aware of what's going on, really, is probably the best way to articulate it. But it's about not going, right, okay, we know all of this, and we've got all to do all of this now. No. It's even as simple as changing from seed oils. Just those little changes at a time when you can do those things make a great impact. So don't...
So with crisps, I won't be talking to seed oils. Waitrose do a lovely pack of crisps that are made with olive oil.
Marks and Spencer's now do a 3 ingredients crisp, also made with avocado or olive oil. Yeah. Not that I am sponsored by either of those two. No. But you can.
No, but what I'm saying is that awareness. But Autumn loves those crisps, and well, half of that's those crisps as well. But the point is, if we buy those, do you know what I mean? We're not, just because we're all crisp lovers in our house, but it's doing what you can. Yeah. It is doing what you can. Sneaking in a bit of nutrition. Yeah, and also just the balance, and also the awareness that we're coming into a season where chilies, stews, soups, they're all things that are an opportunity for sneaky nutrition. You get bone broth into any of those, and then that's what I'm saying, a bit of collagen, a bit of bone broth. It's, you're going to do your bit, but the thing is, again, I think food is I see food as a huge self-care, a huge wellness all-rounder for me and my family.
Yeah, see, my attachment to food isn't great, and because we were so restricted to what was eaten, when it was eaten, how much we bought, and there's quite a lot of emphasis on money in our house as a child. So I'm a binge eater. I don't binge eat and get sick, don't get me wrong. But I'm like, oh, I've got it, so I've got to eat it because otherwise I'm not going to get an opportunity. And I know that's false, but when I'm in times of stress or due on, that's your go-to default. And I'm getting better at it, but now I'm aware of it.
Yeah. Yeah, awareness always brings self-regulation, doesn't it?
But I always thought, oh, it's my hormones, must eat. But actually, it's not. It's deeper than that for me.
And you know what, Lucy? I've got to be honest with you. I would really like to do, I mean, whether this is something that people would uptake or they wouldn't uptake, but I would actually like to run a workshop on this, a See You Next Tuesday workshop on this, because collectively just because of the emotions behind it, the understanding of emotions, but because of the knowledge that I have through nutrition and through psychology, that on feeding, emotions attached to it, healthy eating, how you can sneak it in, doing the best you can do that's not an over financial burden or an over mental burden, that is definitely something that I would happily put on for free.
Yeah, nice.
For people, if people were interested, especially if people feel they want to support a loved one or the child or themselves in any form of emotional and mental well-being, and feel that feeding, like eating, food, nutrition, is an outlet for that. That is definitely something that I feel that strongly about. I would happily put myself out for a couple of hours to run a workshop doing, and would have I've got good contacts that would actually probably support that as well if I reached out to them. So
let us know. Get in contact if that's something you'd be interested in.
Yeah, definitely.
Even online or in person, just let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we are actually local, if you believe it or not. And that's what I was going to say. So back on words again. Back on words again. Because I was like, oh yeah, I've chosen me. But I have days where I think, I can't do this anymore. If there's not enough views on it, sometimes, it isn't often, but sometimes I think, oh, do you know what? Maybe I can't do this. That self-doubt, that little, and every time I have those thoughts, I get a message from one of you guys, completely out of randomly. It's almost like the universe is going, shut up. And it's those lovely little notes.
Yes, you can. It's not shut up. It's yes, you can.
And it's a really amazing thing. And especially, it's lovely getting it from people I know and love, 100%. But for these random strangers that have taken time out of their busy days just to say, that really helped me, or I'm going through this, have you got any advice, or oh my God, this really touched a nerve for me today. Honestly, it makes my heart sing. But we do get them, but when I'm having a really bad day and I'm doubting myself, which is probably, instead of like 3 times a week now, probably for about half an hour a week. So it's like dramatically reduced. But I will say that one of you always shows up, so I'm really grateful for that. That's what I wanted to say.
Back to I love that. Back to community, back to knowing that you're not the only one that's in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is what this is our dream, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Just to let people know they're not alone. Have people from all walks of life come on, share their story. And another thing I've heard a lot of is, I haven't really got a story. Have you lived? Have you been through stuff? Are you still surviving? You've got a story.
Yeah, and it's not even so much about, like, I get what you're saying there. I just want to add on, I just want to extend that. It's not even about the story. It could be a circumstance.
Yeah.
It's just a circumstance. It could be a snapshot in time that has then branched off into self-doubt, self-worth issues, confidence impacted, or staying small in an area that you really don't want to stay small in.
Yeah.
Say it. Own it. The minute you own it, this is me owning mine. Oh, she's such a big mouth. Oh, she's always got something to say. Cool, we can hear you. Well, you're bloody hearing me now, aren't you? So it's like, that's what I'm saying, Joe. My big mouth, hon. That's my bread and butter. Let me tell you, talk for days. Talks a leg off a hind donkey, that one. You're not wrong. So own it.
Yeah.
Not an insult. All you're doing is stating my superpower. All you're doing is stating what is unique about me and what makes me me. And you know what? I'm spending a lifetime learning to love her. Nothing you can say is going to bring that down. So there you go. Not everything is a bone of contention.
No, 100%. I just actually want to wet my pants though after that bill.
Let that goes.
And it's the vision of who saying it that actually makes me laugh. And unfortunately, my nose. Anyway, I feel that's a great place to leave it as I just spat on Wendy's head. I moved on.
We like to share a lot.
And, you know, we are approachable. We are going to be shouting out businesses every week. We're going to pick a new small business, so not a big chain or anything like that. So if you want your business mentioned, because we do want to start cheering people on.
Especially if you've
cheered us on.
Yeah, massively. And especially not just to support you, but obviously we see a lot of small businesses locally that are actually going above and beyond to support people, both with work hours and out of work hours. And we like that ethic, don't we? You know?
Yeah, and maybe just actually generally cheering. So it might not necessarily businesses, individuals, anyone you think deserves a cheer.
Cheer.
Because we're going to do a weekly cheer.
We're going to do a weekly cheer.
Because we've been cheered on and we're going to return that energy right back at you.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Right, well, that's us, you guys. And we will see you next Tuesday.